Okay, so the duck has come back, is being scared off by the waiter.
Waitress.
Or the waitress, I'm sorry. She can still be called a waiter.
Yeah, I know.
And it is making its way towards another couple right here. Let's see. Yeah. So does the duck ever partake in any food or any type of crackers or anything? Or
Well, unfortunately, we've had an issue recently. Don't eat that.
is that a cigarette butt?
I think it's like something that's chipping off these tables.
Oh, some chip stuff? So he ate like some plastic.
Yeah, isn't that great? No, so the other duck that I don't know if you've seen, but the smaller duck, she was born here.
Okay.
She is kind of like our mascot. She's a beautiful little thing, but all of her siblings were killed by a hawk.
By a what?
Hawk that used to hang out in that.
Oh, the
field.
hawk came in and killed all the siblings?
Yes, so she's the only one that survived, and her mom ended up leaving her. So we tried not to really feed her at first, but then.
So she's a adopted duck.
After her mom quit coming, we bought food, and we started feeding her. She had little holes in her web feet because she wasn't getting enough niacin.
Niacin.
So,
did y'all name him like Picasso or something like that?
Scully, because that was
Scully.
Scully, because that's who the exhibitor was at the time.
Scully is the duck's name. So the duck's name is Scully.
Not this duck though.
Not this one?
It's another duck that I don't know where she is right now, but she's like.
What is this one's name?
Quarter size of this one. So he showed up about a weekend ago. Last weekend. It's called a Muscovy. Is the type of duck he is.
Muscovy.
Now the other duck we've raised since it was a baby, so we've had it around probably for about 10 weeks. The Muscovy's just been around for less than a week.
What is the name of the duck?
The Muscovy we never named. The other one's name is Scully.
Maybe he could be Picasso?
Yeah, well, so unfortunately now that Muscovy is hanging around, the museum has decided they want us to not feed the ducks anymore. So as of like 48 hours, we have not been feeding the ducks.
They probably go to neighboring places that are using the water.
The one that was born here can't fly. She's never flown.
Oh, I see.
She's locked into this museum because she's never flown a day in her life.
That's pretty crazy.
I'm not for sure if it's because her mother left and she didn't have anyone to really teach her. I thought maybe with him hanging out with her so much, she might start flying, but she hasn't started flying.
Okay, so you do have a duck here that's named Scully.
Scully
Is it the one that there was a sleeping one that was, it's like gray? Okay, that duck was named Scully, sweetie. The one that was sleeping over there. Scully, yeah, he's named after, what, so.
No, it's S-C-U-L-L-Y. It was the artist that had an exhibit here.
I remember hearing about Scully. It was an artist. I think some of his stuff has been exhibited here. And so it was the gray duck that was way over here that was sleeping right over here. And its name is Scully. Yeah, there he is right there. Scully is swimming right there. So that duck is named Scully. I don't want to fall in right here. So there we go. That's the duck, Scully. The female duck, I don't think it can fly. And I named the other duck, named him Picasso. Okay, so we've got two of them. This one I'm naming Picasso. Hello, Picasso. Okay. We're still chilling.
Well, I'm ready to go.
You ready? About like that. Anyway, come to the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth. Come sit on the patio. Look at these marvelous trees and the artwork called, was it Conjoined? It's called Conjoined. Right there. And enjoy a great time with Scully the duck and the new duck I just named Picasso. This is the duck that I've named Picasso. So I got to name him today. And he's very, very friendly.
Well, Mindy and I need to try out our costumes. We're going in December, on Halloween. We're going to the ranch, my friend's ranch, and it's the theme this year is
Picasso.
6 degrees.
Yeah. Because you actually have a Picasso here.
Anything related to this meeting, we're evacuating. And we are doing campers. We're campers for lake counselors, but we have necklaces that looks like our throats are slit. Like it looks like.
So what are we looking at? Oh, I remember now. Private stuff. I was talking about Steve Keen, who's in Brooklyn. He's an artist. Check him out. You can get his paintings relatively cheap. Maybe $30, maybe $40. It's moving up. Some of his paintings are now becoming like $100. Some of them are in the $1,000 range. But he mass produces paintings. He's out of Brooklyn. Steve Keen. And he's probably one of the most affluent and prolific painters of our current day. Andy Warhol really didn't produce as much as this guy. This guy does hundreds of paintings sometimes a day. And he's like a factory. He just goes and he paints one line on each of these canvases and continues until the painting is complete. Does it in parts. He does it very, very quick. And he's been doing it for a very long time. He's probably painting right now as I'm speaking. And he listens to music and he paints. Jordan the Lion actually covered him in Brooklyn. Check out his paintings. Hopefully we can have his exhibit here at the Modern Art Museum in Fort Worth. Eventually, someday, probably will. He's a mass producer of his own paintings. Original, but he does cover arts for like the Silver Jews, Pavement, bands, other bands that he's covered, many other bands. He's done pop art, like photos of John Lennon, or not photos of John Lennon, but paintings of John Lennon based upon photos. Basically paintings of all different types of folk pop art. Brilliant artist. He does kind of like cover art, and he does his own original stuff as well. But he likes doing the cover art and the pop art because he can mass produce it and send it out very quickly. Almost think of like producing posters, but he does his own factory. Check him out, Steve King. We're hoping maybe one day we'll have him here at the Modern Art of Fort Worth. Okay, hi, I'm Cole. I've met someone else that lived in the apartment complex. What's your name? Kendall. She lived in the apartment complex. I lived in 95, 96, and they asked her to leave to build this Modern Art Museum. I just thought it was really interesting.
Yeah. Wasn't personal.
No. But you lived there. She lived on the other side over here, and I lived right there. That would have been my living room right there. But I just thought that was cool. And your name is Kendall.
Yes.
And y'all do stuff here at the Modern Art Museum. So you're part of what, boards? I
work here.
You just work here.
Yeah.
But you once lived in an apartment complex.
Here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's beautiful.
It is.
It's a beautiful museum, right?
Well, prettier than the quality.
I don't agree with that completely. I like those apartments. They had those old clothing lines that you could put your clothing on. If your dryer didn't work.
Mine had carpet, but a lot of them had the original wood floors.
The original wood floors, right.
Everything. They were super.
One thing I remembered about the apartments is in my closet, I could open the bottom of the floor, crawl underneath, and go to the neighbors if I wanted to. You could do that. You could open and crawl down underneath the crawl space, and if you wanted to go to a neighbor, you could crawl up through their closet.
I just know I could hear everything from the neighbor upstairs.
Yes. It was nice meeting you, Kendall. That's weird that you were also there the same time I was there, 95, 96. Yeah. Awesome.
She just lived there? Or did
It was,
she
it
go
was
to
95,
Texas?
96. I was also here when Waco bombing happened because I remember hearing about it. I remember exactly where I was when the Waco bombing happened. It was right on the sidewalk, right over there where there used to be a sidewalk. This was probably close to my living room right here, which is now part of the property of the Modern Art of Fort Worth. But I thought that was cool.
Oh, cool. All right, let's get
All right, we're on, and we're headed onward through the cafe and out the front door. This is basically what my kitchen probably looked like, similar. A little bit different, but this is kind of probably where my bathroom probably was located before they moved it on. I give the bathroom a thumbs up. So if you do come in certain times of the month, you can see a movie. They show cinema here. I saw Coriolanus with Ray Fiennes. Not Ray Fiennes wasn't here, but he was in the movie. But it was up here in the two cinema doors houses right here. So you can come and watch a movie. They show art house films, things like that. And this is the center part of the Modern. So it's right up here, this way. It's kind of hard to do. So it's both of these doors right here. We can actually go and see a movie right there. And we're gonna walk out.
people behind you.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Okay. And this is our exit. And if you do come to the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth, please bring a friend. And we do hope you shall come along. Oh, I wanted to show one more thing. Right over here is where my apartment was. I want to show. This was a sidewalk that was still here. Okay, I have a little story to say. This was where I would park to go into the apartment off of Darnell Street, 3200 Darnell Street. And I was in like apartment 7 or apartment 2 or something like that. I got hail damage right here. And my dad said, I bet you didn't get any hail damage. I went back, the car had hail damage. I used that money to go off to Ohio to study mime. I just kept the car with the hail damage. And then I pull around here, I'd park right here. There was a long sidewalk and the apartment was probably about right here. And it had a little step that went up, another step, and you could go in to the side. There was another apartment. There was a neighbor upstairs, and they were all kind of conjoined all along here, and then an L shape in front of the Kimball. So it'd go this way and all the way around. And that's where I used to live. And that's where I would park and walk around there. I was going to Texas Wesleyan at the time. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hey, give me a hug. Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
So that's Casa Manana, which is right across the street from the Modern Art Museum of Fort Worth. And that's where we parked over here. And over there is museums and stockyard, and for stockyard for cattle and horses on the other side of that, and then W. Scott Theaters on the other side of that. And that's the Kimball, which we'll hopefully be able to visit sometime. And today was what, Free Fridays? So Free Fridays at the Modern Art Museum. And that's why we chose to go into that one today. So what'd you think about it, the Modern Art Museum?
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's pretty good?
It's pretty good.
I thought it was fun.
It was fun. Got out of the house for a little bit.
We got to see a Jackson Pollock.
What's that?
Jackson Pollock, he's an artist.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, like Andy Warhol.
Oh, yeah.
But he was,
I remember him.
he was more messed up than, well, I don't know if he was more messed up than Andy Warhol, but anyway, they were all kind of,
Right.
All right, vlog. That's all I have right now. So, vlog over. The Linda and Cole band looking at you. Ready to send this up. Y'all have a good rest of the day
Have a
or
good
evening or good night.
Good morning.
Or good morning if you're watching this drinking coffee.
Or drinking alcohol.
or drinking alcohol or drinking
or
anything.
urine.
No, we don't want those types. Anyway, y'all have a good night or a good day. That's the Kimball, which I'll be sending out probably first. Oh my goodness, they have a camera there. They've got a security camera. So if you walk in there, they have a camera. Oh, there's 2 of them. It's horrible. Back when I was in the 90s, they didn't have cameras. You could go back in there. Oh man, oh well.